4-6. Annual notice has been forwarded to the New Jersey Herald and the Daily Record. It was posted on the bulletin board maintained in the municipal building for public announcement. Can I have a roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Here.
Mr. Falcone.
Present.
Ms. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Kusivic.
Here.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Here.
Ms. Smith.
Here.
Mayor Colati.
Here. If you will join me in a flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
This time.
No one's all completely block the flag. How to do faces.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I have to say, this has become one of my favorite meetings of the year. Tonight, we have the privilege of recognizing the outstanding work of the Hopatcon Police Department as they present awards and acknowledgements for the good they've done throughout the year. Their dedication, professionalism, and service to our community are truly remarkable. All of this outstanding work is done under the leadership of Chief Megan McCluskey. Chief McCluskey has been an incredible leader, setting a standard of excellence within the department. Her commitment to public safety and standards, and her engagement as a chief and the officer development that has strengthened the relationship between our police force and the residents that they serve. Under her guidance, the Hopatcon Police Department continues to be proactive, responsive, and deeply invested in the well-being of our town. In addition, we have 2 proclamations this evening honoring members of our fire department, adding even more to this night of recognition and celebration. Our police officers and firefighters are the backbone of Hopatcon's safety, and their service goes far beyond responding to emergencies. They are mentors, problem solvers, and protectors, always ready to step up when duty calls. To Chief McCluskey, our officers, and our firefighters, thank you. Your hard work does not go unnoticed, and we are grateful for your commitment to keeping our town safe. This evening is about celebrating you, and I couldn't be more honored to be part of it. So let's begin.
Thank you, Ned. Good evening, and welcome to our annual awards program. Tonight, we will be recognizing several officers for their hard work and for their commitment to the community. I will start off with our Exceptional Police Service Award. The Department Exceptional Police Service Award may be awarded to any member of the department for an intelligent act materially contributing to a valuable accomplishment or for submission of a device or method adopted by the department to increase efficiency in administrative and tactical procedures. Lieutenant Ryan Tracy. Lieutenant Ryan Tracy stands out for his dedication, leadership, and forward thinking. He took the lead in building partnerships with nearby departments to boost safety and enforcement on Lake Hopatcon. Thanks to his efforts, we've been able to tackle key safety issues and strengthen ties with the community. One of his biggest achievements was creating our department's Marine unit. Seeing the need for better water safety, he made sure officers were well trained in Marine patrol, UTV operations, and ice rescue, broadening our team what they can handle. Lieutenant Tracy also secured a patrol boat through a partnership with New Jersey State Park Police, which played a huge role in keeping the lake safe during the 2024 boating season. His success with that effort led the department to invest in our own boat to keep the program going strong. Beyond that, he brought water and ice safety lessons to local schools, helping educate students and families while building stronger connections within our community. Lieutenant Tracy's hard work and vision has made a lasting difference. His commitment continues to raise the bar for all of us. For these outstanding efforts, he is recognized and commended for his service and dedication to keeping our community safe. Next up is our Honorable Service Award. The Department Honorable Service Award may be awarded to any member of the department for a prudent act which substantially contributes to a valuable police accomplishment and demonstrates exceptional initiative beyond the duties and scope of department members' job description. Detective Ronnie Giordano. Detective Giordano has shown outstanding dedication and perseverance in protecting the youth of Hopatcong. Over the course of a complex years-long investigation, his determination led to holding a trusted individual accountable for serious crimes. What began as a case with little evidence turned into a successful prosecution thanks to Detective Giordano through his thorough investigative work. He uncovered key evidence, connected past incidents, and worked with outside agencies to build a strong case. His efforts resulted in multiple charges and a guilty plea, bringing justice to the victim and helping to safeguard others. Detective Giordano's commitment to uncovering the truth and protecting the vulnerable reflects the highest standards of law enforcement. For his exceptional work, Detective Giordano is commended for his service, professionalism, and dedication to the safety of our community. Next will be life-saving. Can Patrolman Zabita, Patrolman Macarico, Patrolman Jacob, and Patrolman Martinez, can you come forward? In October of 2024, Patrolman Zabita, Macarico, Jacob, and Martinez demonstrated outstanding professionalism and life-saving skills in a response to a critical medical emergency. The officers were dispatched to the 300 block of Elmira Trail for a report of a male patient with a PICC line that had been pulled out, resulting in profuse bleeding. Upon arrival, they found the patient has already lost a significant amount of blood and was struggling to remain conscious. Recognizing the severity of the situation, the officers acted swiftly and decisively. Using their training, they applied a tourniquet to stop further blood loss, stabilizing the patient's condition. Understanding the urgency of the situation and the critical need for rapid medical intervention, the officers promptly requested a helicopter for the fastest possible transport to the hospital. Thanks to their quick thinking, teamwork, and application of life-saving techniques, the patient was able to make a full recovery and was later discharged from the hospital. For their exceptional efforts and dedication to preserving life, Patrolman Zabita, Patrolman Macarico, Patrolman Jacob, and Patrolman Martinez are presented with a life-saving award. Another life-saving award, Officer Macarico, come back up. Also Sergeant Kern, Patrolman Katz, and Patrolman McGregor. In November of 2024, Sergeant Kern, Patrolman Katz, Patrolman Macarico, and Patrolman McGregor of the Hopatcong Police Department exhibited exceptional teamwork and life-saving skills in the response to a critical emergency. Officers were dispatched to the 300 block of Lakeside Boulevard for a report of an unresponsive female. Upon arrival, they found the patient lying on her back experiencing abnormal breathing. Officers began rescue breathing and after losing a pulse, went to CPR. They had performed effective CPR and utilized an AED, delivering a single shock that successfully restored a strong pulse. The patient was then transported to the hospital for further evaluation and care. Following treatment, the patient was later discharged, making a full recovery. The swift and decisive actions of Sergeant Kern, Patrolman Capps, Patrolman Macarico, and Patrolman McGregor were directly responsible for saving the patient's life. Their professionalism, composure, and dedication to the safety of the community exemplifies the highest standard of law enforcement. For their actions, these officers are awarded the Life-Saving Award. We have another Life-Saving Award. Patrolman Macarico. See, there's a trend.
Everybody, yeah.
Patrolman Capps. And Patrolman Starnes. In October of 2024, Patrolman Capps, Patrolman Macarico, and Patrolman Starnes of the Hopaka Police Department demonstrated exceptional composure in responding to a life-threatening emergency at Company 3 Firehouse. Upon their arrival, they found members of the fire department performing CPR on one of their colleagues. The patient was blue in the face and in severe respiratory distress. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, Patrolman Capps, Macarico, and Starnes immediately applied their training. They repositioned the patient into the recovery position and utilized a special device designed for choking emergencies, the Life Back. Through their swift and coordinated efforts, they were successful in dislodging food that had been obstructing the patient's airway. Once the obstruction was cleared, the patient began breathing on his own and regained consciousness. Thanks to their quick actions of the victims, the victim's fellow fire department members, and the decisive intervention of these officers, the patient was transported to the hospital where he made a full recovery and was later discharged. For their extraordinary efforts and the life they saved that day, Patrolman Capps, Macarico, and Starnes are awarded the Life-Saving Award. Their actions exemplify the highest standards of service, dedication, and professionalism with the Hopaka Police Department. We also here today have representatives from Life Back, Rick and Kristen. They would like to present you with a award as well.
Over here.
Well, what do you do with them? I was
Appreciate it. Great. Yeah, well, I'm not sure what this is.
Our next award, it's the Chief's Achievement Award, which is pretty much what's called the Officer of the Year Award. The department's Chief's Achievement Award may be awarded to any member of the department for an act of series of acts over a period of time which demonstrate a high degree of teamwork and professionalism, and which result in the attainment of department goals, thus increasing the department's efficiency and effectiveness. Patrolman David Jacob. Throughout 2024, Patrolman Jacob exemplified the definition of a team player. He frequently volunteered to cover open shifts, preventing other officers from being ordered in when staffing levels were below minimum requirements. His personality makes him approachable and well-liked, earning him the respect of his peers. Always willing to assist fellow officers with any task, he fosters a collaborative work environment. Patrolman Jacob possesses a unique ability to communicate with individuals in a manner that is both respectful and authoritative, maintaining a strong command presence while de-escalating situations effectively. Continuously striving for self-improvement, he actively seeks guidance from both peers and supervisors. His dedication to proactive policing was evident in 2024 as he ranked among the top officers for arrest and played a crucial role in identifying and apprehending criminals within the borough. Patrolman Jacob was also highly active in assisting the Detective Bureau with narcotics enforcement details and the cultivation of confidential sources. He frequently volunteered his time, even on his days off, to support the Bureau by conducting surveillance during investigations, serving as part of an officer rescue team, and assisting with various other enforcement actions. His commitment to investigative work significantly contributed to the success of numerous cases. One particularly notable investigation involved Patrolman Jacob discovering two individuals in a parked vehicle. Utilizing his investigative skills, he determined that they were in possession of stolen credit cards, leading to their arrest and appropriate charges. As the investigation progressed, NYPD detectives contacted this department, identifying one of the individuals as a suspect in a homicide investigation. This case further demonstrated Patrolman Jacob's exceptional investigative abilities and his potential to excel in advanced criminal investigations. Beyond his law enforcement duties, Patrolman Jacob further demonstrated his commitment to the Hopatcong community by volunteering to coach one of the high school baseball teams. His involvement in youth sports strengthened his relationships with the police department with local residents, reinforcing his dedication to community engagement and mentorship. That is the conclusion of the police department's awards. I do want to thank our town residents, family, friends, mayor, council, Mr. Urson, and also all our fellow officers for being here. And I will now turn it over to Chief Crowley.
Good evening. Tonight, I have the distinct honor of recognizing two exceptional individuals, volunteer firefighters who went above and beyond their call of duty, demonstrating the very essence of courage, quick thinking, and selfless service. These two firefighters, James O'Rourke and Tyler Crowley, will be receiving the Life Saving Award for their remarkable actions in saving lives when every second. On October 5th, 2024, at approximately 5:15 p.m., firefighter James O'Rourke found himself in a situation that demanded immediate action. A fellow volunteer began showing signs of distress while eating, and James quickly recognized the situation was escalating. Without hesitation, he initiated the Heimlich maneuver. When his colleague's body went limp, he immediately transitioned to CPR while dialing 911. His ability to remain calm under pressure and his relentless effort led to a successful dislodging of a large food obstruction when the Hopatcong police officers arrived with their life-saving the life back. Sorry. Ensuring the airway was completely cleared. This was nothing short of textbook life-saving effort, one that stands as a shining example of what our volunteers train for and why their presence is invaluable. James' unwavering resolve in that critical moment saved a life, and for that, we recognize him here tonight. Okay. Thanks.
We have a proclamation for you. Whereas on October 5th, 2024, at approximately 5:15 PM, firefighter James O'Rourke found himself in a situation that demanded immediate action. Whereas when James witnessed an individual showing signs of distress while eating, he quickly recognized that the situation was escalating. Without hesitation, he initiated the Heimlich maneuver and immediately transitioned to CPR, all while dialing 911. And whereas James's ability to remain calm under pressure and his relentless effort to lead the successful dislodging of a large food obstruction, when Opakon police officers arrived, they swiftly deployed the life vac device, ensuring the airway was completely cleared. This was nothing short of a textbook life-saving effort, one that stands out as a shining example of what our volunteers train for and why their presence is invaluable. James's unwavering resolve in the critical moment saved a life, and for that, we recognize him here tonight. And whereas James displayed exceptional courage and quick thinking in a life-threatening situation, his actions exemplify the highest standards of heroism and compassion. We are deeply grateful for their dedication to the safety and well-being for others. And now therefore I, Marie Galati, Mayor of the Borough of Opakon, proclaim April 3rd, 2025 as James O'Rourke Day.
Similarly, on November 21st, 2024, at approximately 8:45 p.m., firefighter Tyler Crowley displayed that same instinct when he witnessed then Captain Henry Sardina III in distress. Tyler, with his extensive background in fire and EMS service, recognized the symptoms of a severe medical emergency and sprang into action. As Captain Sardina faded away, Tyler immediately began administering CPR. Because of his rapid and precise response, Captain Sardina regained consciousness and was alert before additional emergency services arrived. Tyler remained at his side and monitoring the scene, ensuring that every possible measure was taken to provide care until further assistance was available. Though we deeply mourn the passing of Captain Sardina, since that day, we recognize that Tyler's actions in that moment gave him more time that mattered to him and his family and his loved ones. Tyler?
Whereas on November 21st, 2024, at approximately 8:45 p.m., firefighter Tyler Crowley found himself in a situation that demanded immediate action. And whereas Tyler displayed the heroic instinct when he witnessed an individual in distress, with his extensive background in fire and EMS service, he was able to recognize the symptoms of a severe medical emergency. Tyler immediately began administering CPR before additional emergency services arrived. And whereas Tyler remained by the individual's side, monitoring the scene, ensuring that every possible measure was taken to provide care until further assistance was available. This was nothing short of a textbook life-saving effort, one that stands as a shining example of what our volunteers train for and why their presence is invaluable. And whereas Tyler displayed exceptional courage and quick thinking in a life-threatening situation, his actions exemplify the highest standards of heroism and compassion, and we are deeply grateful for their dedication to the safety and well-being of others. Now, therefore, I, Marie Galati, Mayor of the Borough of Opakon, hereby proclaim April 4th, 2025 as Tyler Crowley Day.
That also concludes the fire department awards for the season.
Thank you.
Dispatch.
to be sent to me. So you don't read my handwriting address to be sent to me. Maybe to the council president.
You're welcome.
For addition.
All right. Okay, moving on to our agenda. We have committee reports. I just have a few things that I want to add before committee reports. I'd like to take the time to wish Hopakon a happy birthday. Today is actually Hopakon's 127th birthday, April 2nd, 1898. So, yeah, happy birthday to us. I do want to bring up, Lieutenant Ryan Tracy has left already, but I do want to bring up today when I was at Quick Check, Ryan Tracy was actually going gas pump to gas pump, checking all of the credit card readers to make sure that there were no skimmers on any of the readers. And that's what our police department does. They make sure that we're safe here. So thank you. I do want to mention that we do have something new this year with the Citizen of the Year for 2024. For decades,
Can we use the microphone? I think it's still hard. Can you guys hear in the back what's going on? Okay, all right, hold on.
sorry,
You'll get it. Thank you. Let me get the subtitles up for you guys.
so if you missed it, today is Hopakon's 127th-year-old birthday. April 2nd, 1898 was when Hopakon was incorporated. I mentioned Ryan Tracy. Lieutenant Tracy was at Quick Check today when I was there, and he was checking the gas pumps for skimmers. And that's what our police department does. They do things to make sure that we're safe. Mentioning this year, we've added the Citizen of the Year for 2024. We've had the Senior of the Year for decades, which is fabulous. It's always a man and a woman that are senior citizens that we choose. We've added the Citizen of the Year for anybody and everybody. That can be seniors, that could be adults, anybody. The forms are at the municipal building and they are online. I do want to mention that April 5th starts trout season. The Hopakon Observatory on Saturday, April 5th at 8 p.m. They're going to be doing a moon lunar surface watch. They have a large telescope that's there. They ask you to bring a chair with you. We've all heard the I-80 updates. So 5 weeks for the 80 westbound side, 7 weeks for the 80 eastbound side. We're hoping it's a little bit quicker. 2 crews are working on both sides at the same time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. At least we have a solution now and we're on construction and we're no longer testing. We did have a New Jersey State Planning Commission meeting this week. The administrator and I at the county. As we get more information, we'll be able to give that to you. The New Jersey DEP management of the HPAI, which is waste expired wild birds, suspected of infection with highly pathogenic avian influenza. They're asking people, if you see dead birds, do not touch them. If you feel you have to remove them, they're asking you to glove your hands, pick them up with a shovel, put the carcass of the bird into a receptacle that has double bagging to it, and to sanitize the shovel and make sure that your pets don't eat any dead birds on the sides of the road. I do want to thank DPW. They started doing some of their work already on the fields and the parks for us for the spring. You'll see them out there. I do want to say thank you. I know it's part of what they do, but it's not easy to get everything done for everybody, every single minute that everybody wants it done. So I do appreciate that. Affordable housing, we had our hearing last week. All of the results were supposed to be in by March 31st, but we do not have our results yet from the state of New Jersey. So as soon as we have those, we'll pass those along. I do want to thank everyone who signed up for the mobile DMV app. All of the appointments were almost gone within less than 24 hours. There were 4 appointments left when I checked the next day at 10 a.m. There is another one coming for July. I believe it's the 17th. As we get the information, I will pass it along. And I do want to bring up something in reference to the Memorial Day and the Flag Day announcements that came out. We understand that there's been some discussion regarding the decision to hold the Memorial Day ceremony rather than a parade this year. Memorial Day is a solemn occasion dedicated to honoring and remembering those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. While parades are traditionally held for celebrations, Memorial Day is a day of reverence, and we believe a respectful ceremony is the most fitting way to commemorate the day. This decision was not made by me alone, as some social media posts have suggested. It was a collaborative decision made by the administration from input from their volunteers based on logistics and tradition. We assure you that this was in no way a diminishing of the respect and gratitude for our veterans and our fallen heroes. We invite all residents to join us for the Memorial Day ceremony on Sunday, May 24th, as we honor those who gave their lives for our freedom. This year, we're pleased to partner with the Roxbury Kiwanis, who will be providing refreshments at the ceremony. Over the past year, Hopatcon has built a strong relationship with the Roxbury Kiwanis, an organization known for its dedication to community service and support for local initiatives. Their involvement has greatly benefited our town, from assisting with local events to supporting programs that enhance the quality of life for our residents. We appreciate their partnership and commitment to our community. In addition to honoring those who have fallen, our Memorial Day ceremony will also recognize the newest recipients of Hopatcon's Hometown Heroes banner program. This program pays tribute to local veterans and active duty service members by displaying banners throughout the borough, ensuring that their dedication and sacrifice are recognized and remembered by the entire community. That said, we recognize the importance of community celebrations that showcase our patriotism. And that's why we have been excited to host the second annual Flag Day Parade and Celebration, a growing event in Hopatcon. This year's Flag Day festivities will include a parade, a car show, live bands, fireworks, vendors, food trucks, and a free children's area for families to enjoy. We coordinate this event with the Mount Arlington Elks, who generously contribute to making it a success, along with the sponsorship from local businesses that help defray costs to residents. We do apologize for any miscommunication and want to assure our veterans and community that our commitment to honoring those who serve remains steadfast. We look forward to seeing everyone at both our Memorial Day ceremony and our Flag Day Parade and Celebration. We thank you for your understanding and your continued support. As most of you know and have known me a very long time, I'm an absolute huge parade person. I absolutely would love it if we had parades every single month in the summer. So I, for one, am in favor of us having a Memorial Day parade. I was outvoted. If there is a way to bring back the Memorial Day parade, I would be more than happy to do that. I do understand that there are some people who are going to speak of that. So all of you that are here, thank you. I appreciate the support. So as we have the ability to speak from public comment, if that's what you're speaking on, I understand. And do you want to start, Anthony, at this end?
Sure. I've been thinking about the report on the community side, but I certainly would like to congratulate our fire and police award winners today for their outstanding service to the town. You could you get it? You want me to repeat it?
Just want to share that we are deeply saddened to share the passing of Dave Varnish. For those who didn't know, Dave dedicated endless amounts of time and energy to the Hopatcon youth track program in town. Dave is a beloved member of the community whose kindness, leadership, and unwavering dedication touched countless lives. So my deepest condolences to Dave's family. With that being said, I'd like to thank our superintendent of recreation, our rec commission, for stepping in and ensuring that Dave's legacy continues as we take on the track program. Registration for track will open up after tonight, after we pass resolution G. In-person signups will be available on Thursday and Friday from 9 to 4:30 at the senior center, but they'll also be available online on the posted borough website. That's all I have. Thank you.
Hello. I wanted to congratulate our police officers and firemen on their awards. We're very lucky to have both those departments. For the Municipal Alliance, the Center for Prevention held its alcohol awareness contest, and one of the winners was Hopatcon's own Declan Patterson. His PSA will be broadcast on local radio stations throughout the month of April. You may remember Declan from our last meeting. He got a proclamation for his AOL. The Alliance will be hosting Family Movie Night on Friday, April 4th at 6:45 p.m. in the Hopatcon High School Auditorium. They will be showing Hop. The next Alliance meeting is May 6th. Volunteers are needed. Please email Valerie Fiorentino, valrose@optimum.net. School, I want to congratulate the Super Football Conference Man of the Year, Jonathan Franco. This school is sponsoring a puzzle tournament on April 23rd. Please email Mary Burns, mburns@hopakconschools.org. Eighth grade student Travis Howard completed his wrestling season at 12-0 and placed first in the state qualifier and third in the state championship. Our high school golf team, I bet you guys didn't know we have a golf team, my son started out the season at 2-0. The next Board of Ed meeting and final budget vote will be held on Monday, April 28th at 7 p.m. For the community center, the Center for Prevention, the next time they'll be there is on April 16th from 3 to 7 p.m. The Journey Bus also on April 16th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Addiction Recovery Drop is the second and fourth Thursday of the month from 3 to 7. So the next dates are the 10th, April 10th, and April 24th. All Cancer Support Group meets the second Tuesday of every month from 7 to 8:30. And the next date is April 8th. Electronics Recycling Saturday, April 12th from 9 to 2 at the SCUMA in Lafayette. The center is open from 9 to 1 and they have lots of stuff available to residents. I just wanted to touch base on recreation. Before I start with any of this, I wanted to give my heartfelt condolences to the Barnish family. A week and a half ago, I'm sorry. They lost their husband and father, Dave. Most people know him from scouting, but my son and I had the privilege of calling him Coach. I'm so sorry. For the past 7 seasons, Dave coached the Hawks for 20 years, long after his kids graduated from the program. His loss will be felt for years to come, and he will be deeply missed. On the agenda is the resolution for the Hopakon Hawks track team to move under the town umbrella to be managed by our recreation department and our recreation commission. I humbly ask for your yes votes so that the team can have a season and so this great program can continue. We all know how important recreation sports are for our community and our schools. Okay, I'm really sorry. The Hopakon Police Department has been sending out notification for e-bikes. Please keep in mind the laws around e-bikes. You travel in the direction of traffic, do not ride on sidewalks, helmets must be worn. Class 3 e-bikes, which are over 20 miles an hour, over 750 watts, and over 50 cc's, must be light registered and insured. Any bikes manufactured after January 1st of 2019 must be tagged showing classification, wanted, and top speed. And they are also, they're able to be ticketed. They carry a penalty of points, which could lead to license suspension or prevent a minor from getting their driver's license. Lastly, I wanted to wish a happy 127th birthday to Hopakon. On April 2nd, 1898, the borough was founded as the Borough of Brooklyn. The name was changed in 1901, and I wanted to thank Billy Brennan as the reminder for that. Thank you.
Kristen?
Hi, one thing also about the Wellness Center, they will be closed for Good Friday, in case anybody needs to know that. Congratulations to our wonderful firefighters and our police department, they're always there for you, and they're always lovely. I must tell you, they're the ultimate professionals. I'm in charge of the Hometown Heroes now, and our information is on the website, as the mayor said, and we're continuing to work on real estate, selling off lots that we are holding as a town, and if it's contiguous or conforming with your property and so forth, we'll be working towards eliminating some of them and moving them out to the residents if they're interested. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. I would also like to congratulate Hopakon Police Department on their achievements. Also, Hopakon Fire Department, Tyler and James. Congratulations, and Hopakon is in a good safe spot.
Now my mic drop moment, ready? All right. Again, congratulations to everybody this evening who received an award. My condolences to the Varnish family. Celebration of events has yet to meet this year, so hopefully we get something scheduled soon there. From the fire department, we have nothing to report at this time from Chief Crowley, but the fire committee is meeting next week. EMS is hiring per diem EMTs. For more information, please visit hopaconems.org. The police department is rolling out a very exciting venture in honor of Autism Awareness Month. I'm just going to read the statement that they put out. Any and all questions, please refer to the police department. So in honor of Autism Awareness Month, the Hopatcong Police Department is excited to announce the launch of our Blue Envelope program. This program improves interactions between individuals with autism spectrum disorder and police officers during encounters such as traffic stops. Being pulled over by a police officer can make anyone anxious. For someone with ASD, the heightened situation, the flashing lights, the sounds of radios, and other noises can cause an even greater issue. The program provides individuals with ASD a blue envelope containing written information and guidance for the individual and for the police officer. This guidance is designed to help facilitate effective communication, making contact safer and less stressful for all parties involved. If someone with ASD gets pulled over, the driver shows the blue envelope. The driver will keep the driver's license, vehicle registration, insurance, and an emergency contact card inside the blue envelope. The outside of the blue envelope contains instructions for the driver, like keeping hands off the wheel. The officer may shine their flashlight in the car, and the police car may have flashing lights. On the reverse side of the envelope, it tells the officer what to do, like simplifying requests, and if the driver becomes upset, contact a person on the emergency contact card. A checked-off box will also indicate whether the driver is verbal or nonverbal. If you or a loved one would like to participate in the Blue Envelope program, please stop by the Hopatcong Police Department at 111 River 6 Road or call the main number 973-398-5000. This program is currently only available to Borough of Hopatcong residents. So that's something very exciting that just came out. And the last thing I have is myself and Councilwoman Johnson are on an exciting adventure, building a brand new business directory for the Borough of Hopatcong. So we just put out a link today. We are gathering contact information from all business owners, so everybody knows exactly what Hopatcong has to offer. Right now, it's on social media. It will not only be there, we do plan to make phone calls and go into every single business in Hopatcong to compile everything in one place and share that with the public. So it's important to know what you guys have at your disposal. Sometimes there's little hidden gems you just never know about, and that's it.
Thank you. Administrator's report. Got that.
All right, so, first of all, our senior center, is in need of help, either part-time employment opportunities or volunteer for community service opportunities. We have a senior lunch program that's held there, every weekday, where seniors in need can go and get a free hot lunch, as part of a county program. And we have one of the biggest programs offered, with a lot of attendance, and we are understaffed over there. So we're looking for volunteers or employees to help work in the kitchen. That information is on our website under the employment section, so go check it out if you're interested. It's a great opportunity for, you know, someone looking to give back to the community, or if you just want to work like 1 or 2 days a week, if you don't want to commit to working every day, that's fine too. We just really need to bolster the staff over there for this really popular program that we want to continue to keep offering. We're just, you know, we're in a tight spot with the staffing, so just looking to get some more hands to help in the kitchen there. We are also going to be, the council is going to be meeting on the budget in the coming weeks, and we're hoping to introduce later this month for adoption in May. So there will be discussions about that coming up. And as well, our audit has been completed, so we will be getting the audit report, and auditors will be coming to future meeting in the coming weeks. That's kind of what we've been working on behind the scenes. Adding on to what the mayor already mentioned about Public Works, they've been working on the field walks with Recreation Commission and Recreation Super, working on getting our fields ready for spring. They've also been doing street sweepings, and curbside leaf pickup is now ongoing in town, so, you know, getting ready for the spring season, really cleaning up the town. I believe this is gonna be touched on later this evening, so I won't discuss this just yet, but last meeting, we appointed a new grant writer, and we've already met with them, and we're getting to work on some grant projects. Couple meetings ago, I mentioned the DOT grant that we have for streetscaping on River 6. I'm still in need of some more letters of support, either from businesses or residents in the community that utilize our walking paths or bike paths, and would like to offer a letter of support that we can use to bolster our application. I have a template, just shoot me an email, snow@hopakong.org, and I will send that to you, and that would really help us in getting that grant funding. We're also looking at another DOT grant for municipal aid in July to help with our road paving. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Moving on to public comment, can I have a motion for public comment?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is open to the public for anything and everything that is on the agenda or off the agenda.
Do you want the microphone? I don't think I need it. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, great. So, I stopped coming here for a minute, right? You guys donated to some of your campaigns, helped you get on the board, helped you get elected, and I kind of let you do your thing. I kind of let you guys get adapted and acclimated, right? But I would like to say that I'm disappointed right now as a veteran standing here who served this country with a long line of family members that are veterans. This is my great-grandfather's flag. My great-grandfather who served in the Navy, he was a cook, because that's all they could be back there in 1938. So when you're telling me this is not the first time or the last time, probably more times that I have to come down here to tell you that the parade is important to veterans and to honor the dead. I don't know what this Flag Day thing is, but well, who's paying for that? Because are my property taxes paying for the police? I don't care about the Elks contribution. I don't care about Flag Day. You want to have your Flag Day? That's great. Have it. But honor our veterans. It's disgusting. The fact that I got to come down here. 5 years ago, I came over here. Kathy Bowen tried to do the same thing. Nobody called me, and everybody's got my number. Everybody knows how to find me. Not one person reached out to me. I'm an organizer. You don't think I could have rounded up some people to help you put this thing together? It's the same thing. But you know what? It's all performative. In my opinion, right now, it's all performative. So anything that you say don't mean nothing. The flags that you got hanging, you know why mine isn't up there? Because it's performative. It don't mean nothing. So you tell me you honor veterans? But every time I gotta come down here to tell you how much it means to these people in this town, but you're not listening. You say you gotta vote? Who voted? I'd like to know who voted. Raise your hand. Show yourself.
That's right.
That's right.
If you want to sit here and say it with your chest, and you want to stand it with 10 toes down, raise your hand and tell me who voted for it. If you're so proud of it, I'm speaking. If you're so proud of it, own it. And as far as another thing, on another topic, when are we getting paved? When are our streets getting paved? You want to talk about businesses? You people don't like businesses in this town. I don't see you unless you want money from me. Where's the business development thing? You come up to me before talking about it, but we talked about this several times before. We've had this conversation.
Where's the change?
Everything is performative. I thought you would be different, and it's the same old, same old. So that's all I gotta say. You wanna honor somebody? Honor my great-grandfather.
Thank you. Anyone else? That's fine.
Dawn Roberts, the Memorial Day Parade. Having a parade is not irreverent. Parades bring the community out. When the community comes out, they often, they come together then, they walk down to Veterans Field and they stop and remember and they attend the ceremony. Not having a parade in favor of Flag Day, to me, is both inappropriate and disrespectful.
Events, yeah.
I would like to know who voted on it, because this time, actually, after the new year next year, I plan on packing this room with service members from every branch of the military, and they're going to tell you why having a Memorial Day parade along with the ceremony is important. This year, I too want to know who voted for it. And so I'll ask the question, and I'll accept my time as having feedback from you. Did this board vote on it? Why wasn't it put to the board? Should it be put to the board? So Flag Day is fine and everything, but without the service and sacrifice of every service members, alive and dead, there'd be no flag. So I encourage you, please reinstate the parade for next year. It is the most significant parade that a town can have, and we're the only town not having it. So whoever voted on it, after the new year next year, you're gonna need the firehouse because you're gonna need the space. Get those people, whoever it is that voted, if it wasn't this board, and I will bring service members from every branch of the military, which, as you know, I have access to, and they will all stand and tell you why the parade along with the ceremony is hand in hand, and why it's important, and you ever ditch it, ever. So please reconsider your position.
Bring it back this year.
You're standing on a slippery
No,
slope.
not next year. Bring it back this year. Bring it back this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashley Zaremba. I'm a member of the community. I'm very involved in the youth sport organizations in our town. I'm also an employee of the school district. I'm not going to repeat what everyone has said. I agree with them. I have the same feelings that without our heroes, we wouldn't have a flag, so there would be no celebration without them. This is also I know the children in this community are extremely disappointed. They look forward to that Memorial Day parade every year. I often have to dress my children in a cheer bow with a soccer jersey, with a softball mitt and a basketball in hand because they're involved in everything. And, oh, sorry, I forgot the Girl Scout stuff. It is a time that we can educate our youth on why this is important and why we are celebrating the men and women that fight for this country and the sacrifice that they make them. Because without them, we wouldn't have the parade either. So I just wanted to, no one said anything about the youth of the community, so I just wanted to make sure that was put out there because this is a big disappointment. I know we were all invited to the Flag Day Parade last year and minimal came. You should also just take into consideration, I'm a planner, that's Father's Day weekend. You're gonna be missing a big portion of the community as it's a big travel weekend. Also, without the Memorial Day Parade, our community is going to go elsewhere. So you won't have anyone at your ceremony. They'll be in other towns with the parade and the celebration that our veterans deserve.
Thank you.
Say something. My name is David Charo. I'm the one who started one of the questions online. I'm a service member. I come from 5 generations of service members. Is anybody on this board a service member or prior service member? Okay. This is my question. I have 3 flags on my wall. They're encased. They're all from family members that I've lost in the wars. My son is a service member. 6. 6 is the number of friends that committed suicide when they came back from the global war on terror. These are people that should be memorialized. My son suffers from severe PTSD and left the service because of the amount of suicides he was incurring in the Marine Corps. These flags, I paid for my son's flag, which is usually right out here in the front. I paid the $100 to put him up there. He was a fireman on this fire department. When he came back here, he wasn't treated, they gave him little respect.
He actually left the fire department, moved to Florida. I cannot believe that we would put people in a little park real quick to get a quick little service over, rather than let the entire town know and glorify the memories of those that have passed. I'm not here for myself. I'm not here for my son. I'm here for those that have died. I'm here for my grandfather. I'm here for my great uncles. I'm here for my cousin. I'm here for people that gave their lives for this country. It's nice to have a little thing, but if anybody throws candy at me on a Flag Day parade, I'm gonna throw it back at you. I don't wanna see people riding around in convertibles waving that didn't do shit for this country. I'm very, very pissed off that we're not gonna memorialize. How are the little kids gonna remember these people? Because the little kids are not gonna say, Daddy, take me Saturday to the Memorial Park thing. They're not gonna know about it. But when you have things going down the street, when you show the appreciation and the respect that these people that died deserve, then you can have people that look up to them and memorialize them and remember them. I'm just disgusted. I've been here for 26 years and I fly my flag in front of my house every day. I'm disgusted. I'm absolutely disgusted. If we don't have the money, we could take up a collection in this town. We could do something. But why do we gotta take free money from somebody else so we can have other towns, politicians come in here, ride around so we can celebrate them? That's all I have to say. I'm just disgusted.
Thank you. Anyone else?
My name is Ryan Fopowski. I'm a resident of this town for 39 years. It's absolutely disgusting what is going on in this town. I'm embarrassed to say that I'm an Eagle Scout with this town. I'm embarrassed to say I've walked in the parades in this town. I'm embarrassed to say that I built Veterans Field. My Boy Scout troop donated hundreds of hours to build Veterans Field. And all we did was say, wow, this is gonna be nice, like something for the veterans, something for people to come see, something for the kids to play in the park, you talk about bringing community together and you're dividing it more than ever and sending everybody elsewhere. What that gentleman just said, you wanna bring a Flag Day parade here? By all means, go ahead and do it. Don't end something else to do that. And like he said, you're gonna bring a bunch of politicians in to smile at a convertible that says Johnson Dodge and everybody else on it. The kids could care less. I was a little kid. I grew up in Saddlebrook originally for the first 10 years of my life. All I want to do is walk in a parade. I thought it was cool. Hey, I want to do that. I want to remember that guy. I want to be like him. So I did it. I became a Boy Scout in Alpaca, went through my Eagle Scout. I have a day named after me in this town. Doesn't mean anything anymore because this town is not what it was. And I thought I was voting for change. And some of you, the campaign you wrote on is not what you're doing. So I'm embarrassed. I'm absolutely embarrassed. And to say, to go do that little thing on Memorial Day, yes, it's important to remember the deceased. Yes, it's important to remember our veterans. But the kids enjoy going to the parade. The adults enjoy taking their kid to go watch the fire department, watch the Boy Scouts, watch the sports. It brings everybody together for a day. You don't have to turn it into bounce houses and face painting and everything else. Simple parade. That's what we used to do. And like the woman who walked out, unfortunately, if none of you voted on it, it's a town function that is run by the town, correct? Am I right? And so I want to make sure I'm right. Okay, then why is the board not the one making the decision? Because we put you here to represent us and help us get what we want in this town. And some of you are doing the exact opposite. So why are you here? I said it years ago when Mayor Hodson was here. We need to take the board, shake it upside down, shake out everybody that isn't doing anything or worth anything, and replace you, and maybe we'll get somewhere.
That's what we did.
Well, so did I, but clearly we didn't, because I'm not seeing it. And it's sad. There's a bunch of other stuff we could get into, but this is the important topic for tonight, so we'll stick to that. But I was under the impression the board voted on it. Now I just learned that you guys weren't the ones that voted on it. It's a town function run by the town, by the borough of Hopaka. Why is the borough board not making the decision?
Thank you.
Right.
Who's making a decision?
Well, why won't you say, you answer us, you basically work for us, you represent us. We're asking you a question, so why won't anybody answer it?
Come on.
Are we gonna,
Who came
I don't
up with
understand.
the idea?
We have,
Whose idea was
not
this
gonna
to
answer
go to the
that?
Memorial Day parade?
Does anybody answer them? Council does not have the answer, which is why the council is not answering. So, Mayor, who voted?
It was an administrative decision.
From who? Who? Who's the administrator?
Guys.
Back up. It was an administrative decision that was made because the suggestion was made that there are so many events that are in the month of May. There are events that are in June, there are events that are in July, that having the volunteers every single Saturday doing something and the expense of the two parades that we do have. And again, I'm all for parades. I have no problem if we decide to actually have the Memorial Day parade. Again,
Flag Day, put it on Memorial Day. Done.
I have no problem doing both parades whatsoever. It was just,
No, we just need one.
but again, it's something that was there. But again, that was not something that was done in front of this board this board did not make the decisions. And again, there's no reason,
That's what we're trying to.
it wasn't a board, it was an administrative decision.
Instead of voted on it.
Marie, can I say,
No.
Marie, can I say something? And I know this is probably not my place. What's your name, sir?
Brian,
Brian, I think Brian brings up a good point, right? We're elected officials, elected by you to listen to you and to take your feedback. And I agree with Ryan said, this is our town, these should be our decisions. So I don't know if it's proper for me to make the motion.
Make the motion.
Oh, I would make the motion, make the motion.
Bring back the Memorial Day parade, yeah, for this year.
Do we have to certify that we have the funds or
Thank you.
whatnot? Like, what do we have to do? No? Okay.
The permits were already in.
Can we do that right now?
Happen.
You have to wait until
You
after
have to
public
wait until
comment.
after public comment.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do it
We'll
afterwards.
do it after.
okay, I have a question before. You said the financial obligation is to parade. May I ask what financial obligation there is to run a Memorial Day parade? Because
I don't have that. That came from the CFO. I don't have that information.
Because I understand like we have the DPW to block roads, we have
Hmm.
police officers to block roads. DPW is already getting paid.
Mhm.
Police department's already getting paid. So there's no extra, if that's the cost, they're gonna get paid whether there's a parade or not.
Oh, yeah.
So again, it doesn't make any sense.
Agreed.
Couple things. One, to answer his question, you have to bring in extra DPW and police, which they get paid overtime for. That's what
Okay,
the
thank you.
cost is.
Thank you.
One second, Heather has it.
You actually sat up here and lied. Because you did make the decision. Not a single board member, council member made that.
Heather, I
decision.
didn't make the decision. You're not gonna sit here and lie. So you're either gonna sit here and give your opinion and give us the truth.
Tell us who actually made the decision.
Because I'm not
When
about to
administration-
throw anybody under the
That
bus.
decision.
I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus that works here.
Argue with me, Marie.
The unfortunate thing is I do have to take responsibility for it, but again, I am someone who is in favor of having the Memorial Day parade, and I would love to have the Memorial Day parade.
The mayor.
You're absolutely right. We're having this meeting, we're having this discussion, and it's moving
All right, I'm
forward.
gonna reclaim my time.
Sure,
I'm allowed to speak.
sure.
You made that decision, not a council member, not a committee member, not the rec department, and you made everybody believe that somebody else made that decision. That is bullshit. Absolute complete and utter bullshit. It's the exact same thing that was done 4 weeks ago when you decided to unilaterally change the veteran exemption without the council's approval, making a complete change on a process that also affects veterans, which happened to be my husband. So you should put this Memorial Day, and Joe, I thank you for making that motion when you do.
Sure, but
I appreciate
just to
that.
clear that up as well, I also made the motion for the.
You made the
veteran
motion,
position.
yes, but
So it wasn't just on
it
Marie.
came from the mayor. She knew what she was doing
It didn't
before.
come from the mayor.
It came from you.
It came from me.
The other part that I am speaking on tonight is the fact that 4 out of 6 of you ran on getting rid of the attorney. I hope tonight's vote for the attorney gets him out, because if not, then you lied on your campaign.
That's right.
Thank you. Yes, Kathy.
Just sitting here, I'm having.
No, you're fine. You can say that.
I'm Kathy Mitchell. I've lived in Paccon for 53 years. I have been involved in Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts. I was a volunteer aide when they didn't have paid aides in the school system. I worked with children with difficulties. And I've never been upset about living in this town until this year. And I'm very concerned about all the rumors that go on, then with no substance. So I don't say any of them, don't repeat them to people. And I just keep hearing things. I go to the senior center. I love the senior center. I'm very upset about Roseanne Lee. I heard she left. I don't know the story on it, but she left. She was wonderful. She worked her tail off from the time she got in there. She made everybody feel good. And I heard she resigned. Why? These things bug me. And also the fact that with the rumors going around about like the parade, everybody loves the parade. We could have 2 parades. The Elks, I know my daughter is a big shot in the Elks, and I know that they donate a lot of money for the parades and stuff. And they'll donate more, I'm sure they will. I'd kick her if she don't. But I think that we got to get together. The politics put aside. We've got to take care of the seniors. The money has been taken from senior funds. We don't have the trips to the casinos. A lot of the people that go to the Golden Lunch Bunch, they have nothing else in their life. Their children live across the country, everything. I'm blessed. My children still live in Mansfield. And I think that something's got to be done before we get totally out of control. And I think we should have honest answers about stuff. You know, get some trip for the seniors. Don't take money away from the seniors. We've contributed for years here. And it bothers me when I keep hearing things like that. That's it.
Thank you. Anyone else? Tom?
So good evening, my name is Tom Brown. I've been a resident of Paccon since the early 70s. I've been heavily involved with youth, everything you can imagine in this town. I'm here to represent the Elks on the issue of the Flag Day Parade. First off, Elks are hugely patriotic. So having 2 parades, if it's financially appeasable, we're all for it. It's not like we're trying to take over the Memorial Day Parade. We're heavily involved with Memorial Day Parade in Mount Arlington. It's an honor to have everybody that served. It should be done that way. I'm all for it. So I'm hopeful that they do put back in the parade here. I myself, when I was a child, marched in it with baseball and everything else. It's something that should be done. So I hopefully you guys do that. With the Flag Day Parade was started by the Elks and was brought over to Paccon with the idea to bring a community together. The Flag Day ceremony and Flag Day itself was started by the Elks. So for us, it's one of the biggest things that we do. By statute, every single lodge in the country has to do a beautiful Flag Day ceremony. So with that idea, we got together last year with the mayor, 2 councilwomen and men, and decided, hey, can we do a parade here? It was a huge success. We had about 1,000 people on it. This year we decided, hey, why don't we try to expand this to not only a Flag Day parade, but a festival. The idea behind that festival is, if you've been here long enough, you will remember the Little League Carnival. This town has not had anything like that since the Little League Carnival went away. With this Flag Day festival and the parade, the downtown here will be closed. We're gonna have music. We're gonna have events for children. We're gonna have fireworks. We're gonna have food. It's going to be a really good time for all. It's something that everybody, once you get down here and you see it, should have civic pride behind it. It's something that many of the towns, in my belief, will come down and see this and say, wow, this is something we should do. One should not compete with the other. It's not what we wanted to do. It's not anything close to that. What we want to do is bring as much civic pride back to this town as possible. And be patriotic in doing that. So I just want to set the record straight. It's not one person driving this parade, as the rumors are out there. It's the Elks, it's the fire department, it's the police department, it's EMS, it's the rec department, it's council people that have been on here, it's St. Jude's. Everybody's getting involved with this. And hopefully this is one big celebration and it goes on for years and years and years. We do, and we are supporting it financially. We also are getting out there and getting big donations to make sure that it's completely covered so that nothing comes out of the taxpayers' money. So that's all I'd like to say. Hopefully we get past the Memorial Day parade thing and we bring it back, and then we go on to the Flag Day ceremony and have a really good time with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'd like to say something that Roy McQueen. I lived in this town 57 years, or be 57 years. And parade doesn't mean too much to me, but that ceremony does. And I tell you why. I lost some friends overseas that I attended their memorials. And the memorial service, as it is up there, brings back those memories. And the parade doesn't mean anything to me. Passes my home, I always have people there. But that service means more than anything else. In other words, I buried some people. I came home, no regrets, nothing, but that's the thing. Not the parade, the kids go up there and they have a good time. That's great, but that service means more personally to me, and I think a lot of other veterans. Not the parade, that service.
You have it there.
What happened?
Parade is after the service, yeah, right? Yeah, all of what's done. Now, we're not losing the service, we're losing the parade.
Thank you. Anyone else? Not seeing anything, motion to bring it back? All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to the approval of minutes. Approval of the March 19th, 2025 regular minutes. Everyone is eligible. Can I have a motion?
Make the one.
Second.
And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Mr. Kusivic,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yeah.
Ms. Smith.
Yeah.
Moving on, correspondence. We have the tax collector's report that you received in correspondence for the month of February. Resolution 2025-62, the bill list. Can I have a motion?
Can I actually request, I apologize, we move this to after the remaining resolutions, because there is a resolution that is on the bills list.
Sure. Okay, moving on to resolutions 2025-63, authorization for a tax refund and cancel future property tax for block 30303, lot 7,
Make the motion.
and the roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Mr. Kusivic, Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Ms. Smith.
Yeah.
Thank you. 2025-64, authorizing the submission of the application for the NJDOT Transportation Alternatives Set Aside Grant for River Styx Streetscape Improvement Phase 2. The administrator was speaking about that earlier in her administrator's report.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Can I just ask a question, Shelby?
Yes.
Do we know what the project's gonna be yet?
Yeah, so, I think I spoke about this 2 meetings ago, maybe 3. It's the streetscaping that happened, well, I guess we're looking this way now, we're not at Borough Hall, so up here. On River Styx, and then what happened down, as you go down to River Styx, like where the businesses are.
Yeah.
That was done, both those were different phases, and this is for the middle piece to connect the two. So to continue with the street lamps and the sidewalks and all that.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And street, okay, thank you.
Yeah, streetscaping, so
Got it.
improving the safety and usability of the sidewalks with the lighting for pedestrian, bike safety, all that, and it's connecting, we have 2 end pieces, and so it's doing the middle portion.
Got it. Thank you.
Motion and second. Roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Mr. Kukovic.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And Ms. Smith.
Yes.
2025-65, authorizing extending the date for the 2025 budget introduction and adoption.
Motion.
Discussion, do we know what the date is gonna be extended to?
Yeah, so we are targeting introduction next meeting on the 16th and then adoption on May 21st.
Thank you.
And the roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Mr. Kukovic.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Okay, moving on, 2025-66, appointment of the municipal attorney.
I'll second that. I do want to make one statement regarding that.
I do, I just want to read something first. Thank you. So the council president, members of the council, residents of Hopakon. Tonight, I'm making a nomination that I know may not be the most popular decision in the room. However, my responsibility as a mayor is to act in the best interest of Hopakon, not based on past campaign positions, but on the realities of governing and ensuring stability for our borough. I'm nominating John Urson of Schenck, Price, Smith and King as our municipal attorney for 2025. John Urson is not just an attorney with institutional knowledge of Hopakon. He's a graduate of Hopakon High School and has strong ties to our community. Over the past 15 years, he has provided timely, strategic, and legally sound advice to the borough. The mayor, the administrator, and the police chief, three officials who work most closely with the municipal attorney, have all had positive experiences with his responsiveness and his guidance in the last 15 months. His track record speaks for itself. With risk mitigation, he successfully helped the borough avoid costly litigation and navigate complex legal matters. Strong response rate. He consistently provides timely answers to council members and the department heads. Cost efficiency. His services are good value for the borough, especially compared to municipalities like Sparta, Franklin, Vernon, or Jefferson. Legal expertise and resources. As part of one of the oldest firms in New Jersey with 90 attorneys, his firm brings significant legal resources to our borough. This includes specialty in tax appeals, foreclosures, employment, labor, and environmental law, which are all critical areas for Hopakon at this point in time. I recognize that during my campaign, I expressed an intention to replace John Urson as municipal attorney. However, campaigning is not governing. Governing requires making the best decisions with the information at hand. And in the past 15 months that I've been working with John as mayor, his input and guidance have been invaluable to the progress and success that Hopakon has experienced. Given the number of new leaders in key positions, new council members, a new administrator, a new CFO, continuity in our legal representation is essential. While we received applications for other qualified candidates, I do not believe they are the right fit at this time. If the council wishes, we can always issue the RFPs for 2026, but for the stability of Hopakon, I urge you to support John Urson's nomination for 2025. I ask for a motion to nominate John Urson as municipal attorney for the borough of Hopakon.
I will make the motion. I would like to say, I do agree with you, especially considering the newness of the council, CFO, the administrator. I think there's many, many important things that we need to get accomplished this year. I'm afraid, and one of them being is evidenced by this meeting, getting better understanding of the desires of the residents of the town. And I'm not so sure that changing attorneys at this point in the year is going to allow us to put our best foot forward. So for that reason, I'm making the motion to retain Mr. Urson's firm as our municipal attorney.
And I second it.
Any other comment? Roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
So John, before I vote, I just want to say, I want to echo what Marie said. I think for the short time we worked together, you've been an absolute professional, and your service to this town should be commended and mentioned. So I appreciate that, Marie. With that being said, though, I do think it's time for a change, and John, I just want to thank you for your service again. And my vote, unfortunately, is going to be no.
Mr. Kukovic.
No.
Ms. Johnson.
No.
Ms. Rodriguez.
I like to keep my promises, no.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Yeah, so I will, give the council a memo on what the options are, following the meeting. The mayor has the right to nominate, the attorney. The council has the right, of consent and, you know, the law provides guidance that I'll share with the council between this meeting and the next meeting.
Thank you. 2025-67, authorizing the hiring of DPW employee.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
This is just,
Roll call.
Replacement.
thank you.
I didn't know if anybody had questions.
No, I wanted to see if the hours were on there. That's.
Roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
2025-68, authorizing a salary adjustment.
Make the motion.
Second.
Discussion.
Tonight. Did we just, what happened? It's 20 cents, right? It's 20 cents an hour?
It's just the new employee that was just hired is at $21 an hour for the same.
Got it.
So it's just bringing a current employee to match that so that they're on the same, it's the same position with the same, both have CDL, so it's matching those.
Got it. Understood.
Roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic. Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
2025-69, authorizing fees for the recreation track program.
So made.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
And Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Back to the bills list.
Yeah. Resolution 2025-62, the bills list.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Second, sorry.
Any discussion?
Does anybody need anything pulled out?
Yes, 25-00432.
For what? I'm sorry.
432.
432.
432.
25-00613.
Uh-huh.
25-00659.
59. All right, so can we pass those three bills? Pass those three
You
bills
want to do
first?
that first? Do you
You want to do the whole bills list?
bills list first? And
Yeah,
then
okay.
those three?
So motion to, I need a motion, second, right?
No, we have a motion.
have a motion and a second.
Okay, so to pass the bills list without those three bills, did you get those, Valerie?
I have them.
Okay.
yes.
So that's a roll call, right? No?
We're good.
Oh,
As long as you're done.
yeah, I'm done.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Okay, and then, to pass those three bills,
Just need a motion.
I'll
You have a
make it.
motion.
is it a motion?
Yeah, I'll make it.
Yeah. And I'll second.
Roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic. Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinances, we have no introduction of ordinances. We have final hearings, 1-2025. 2025 auction of property conforming an ordinance of the Borough of Hopatcong, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, authorizing the sale of a certain property owned by the borough and not required for public purposes, more commonly known as Block 70107, lots 6, 11, and 12.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
And the roll call?
Don't
We have to
open
open
a
to the
public.
Oh, right. This ordinance is open up to the property auction is open up to the public.
Do we have
Does
to,
anybody have any comment? Motion to open?
we have to make a motion to open?
Motion to open.
Motion.
Second.
This is open to anybody and everybody in the audience that has any comments, questions about 1-2025. Not seeing anything, motion to bring it back.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yeah.
Mr. Falcone,
Yes.
Mr. Kusibek,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
2-2025 auction of property non-conforming, an ordinance of the Borough of Hopatcong, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, authorizing the sale of certain non-conforming property owned by the borough and not required for public purposes, more commonly known as 1 Toledo Court and 124 Jefferson Trail.
Motion.
Second.
And motion to go open.
Motion.
Second.
This ordinance is open 2-2025 for the property that is for sale. Does anyone from the audience like to speak? Not hearing any motion to bring it back,
Motion.
Second.
and the roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone,
Yes.
Mr. Kusibek,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Moving on to old business. A is discussion regarding JCP&L.
Yes, so I know that Rachel had brought up, last meeting having a town hall, and I wanted to touch base on that.
Yeah, so,
Go ahead.
okay, so I reached out to our rep, did not hear a response, saw that it was gonna be on the agenda again, reached out again, still no response. Come to find out, because then the mayor reached out, come to find out that, our rep is being changed. And we were supposedly assigned a new rep, but we have not been given that information yet. And neither has, OEM, so the three of us that are in contact with the rep have not received that communication yet of who the rep is gonna be. So that's where we stand right now.
So he was removed without a replacement named in his spot that you know of.
A replacement was named, but that was not communicated to us yet. So it's ongoing.
Okay. So when we get that new rep, I think we had 6 power outages in March. I think only 1 was a fallen tree and the other 5 were what? Squirts farting, rain, I don't know, the wind blew the wrong way. Squirrels farting, yes, yes, that's the common problem we go back on. And I think that we need to start asking for some things from them, specifically.
Demanding.
Demanding. Investigations into the outage, the engineering reports, tree trimming reports, and preventative measures.
I will say if the rep is who I think it is going to be, it's a rep that I've worked really well with in the past and who is very communicative, and that would be a great thing for this town. If that's gonna be our rep.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it was investigation, tree trimming, and what was the third thing?
Investigation of the outage, engineering reports,
Engineering.
preventative measures, and the update on the tree trimming reports, because you know, it's a 4-year cycle, a 5-year cycle, whatever the tree trimming is. And I understand that there are trees not on borough property that are on personal property that is being maintained by the homeowner. You know, but this is, a lot of the issues are the branches around the trees that need to be cut back. And I know there's a 15-foot radius or whatever it is that they have to follow, but I don't know. I've never seen a tree trimmer in Hopatcong. I'm just saying.
There's a
From
wire that has
JCP,
like
you
a
know.
branch growing around.
Yeah,
it.
I've
It's
never
just
seen one
not-
in the 19 years I've been here. I've never seen a single JCP&L truck come through here and do tree trimming. I've seen them flag trees and then just leave them there. So I think that it's worth talking about. Anybody else? No? Okay,
Nope, we'll definitely get the information.
thank you.
B, discussion regarding a shared service agreement with Sussex County for fire official service.
Yes, so, you know, as you guys know, we had a resignation with our fire marshal. And we were, before that, in the process of hiring a deputy fire marshal or investigating and hiring a deputy fire marshal. In the meantime, the county has stepped in and has been performing the inspections for us. It has been a really great partnership with the county. So I met with them to explore the option of doing a shared service with them. And think that that would be a great thing for the borough as far as costs and continued service and whatnot. It wouldn't cost the borough a dime to enter into the shared service.
Can you say that louder? I didn't
Yeah,
hear you.
it wouldn't cost a dime to enter into the shared service. And it would free up some other resources that are tied up in that department now. So it would essentially be eliminating a department and freeing up some funds and resources that could be allocated elsewhere. So we're ongoing in talks. It's gonna need county approval and then state approval, so it could take some time to become official. But they've been doing the service in the meantime, and they're gonna continue to do so until it can become official, but that will eventually be coming before the board to be officially approved. But I just wanted an update on that's what we're doing right now, and it's been working really well. So I would make the recommendation to continue with that service. But you will see that in an official capacity. It depends on how long the state and the county take to approve it on their end. But you'll see that in a coming meeting.
And the response has been, their response to HOPACon has been good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
In the past, that's been revenue generating. But I know there's a cost associated with it too, so can we get the CFO to take a look and see where that falls?
It would be financially beneficial for us
Would be?
to
Okay.
enter the shared service.
Where would the fines go?
Everything would go right to the county, but as we've discussed it,
I gotcha.
it would financially be much better for us to just,
So you're saying the cost associated with performing that role was greater than the revenue that
yes,
generated
Yes.
as
yes,
a part of that role?
yes.
Okay.
And Shelby, is that based on revenue that we've collected in the past or what we could have collected in the past? Because I
A
know
little
that,
bit of both.
okay. I was just gonna say, because I know that there were some
Yeah.
instances where there was probably more revenue to be had than there was, but I guess we can't just pick numbers out of the sky and say, hey, if we were doing the right thing, we could have made X. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. I think overall it will be a benefit, a benefit for the town in every way possible.
Cool.
And some of the fees will actually go down for some of the inspections that are done for the residents, actually,
Oh, wow.
which will be great.
Yeah.
Anything else for old business?
Would Memorial Day fall? in
Yes,
full business?
yes.
Okay, I mean, people have spoken, we need to listen. Thanks everybody for coming out. If there's a motion that needs to be made, I think we should make a motion, do everything in our power to reinstate the Memorial Day parade this year.
I'll second.
And the roll call?
Mr. Giovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kusivic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
And Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Very good. Moving on to new business discussion regarding paving. Paving.
So I think that last year we put aside a certain amount in the capital for DPW to do paving. And the number to me that sticks out in my head, and I don't know if this is 100% right, was 575, right? Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
We didn't pave any roads last year because New Jersey Natural Gas came in and I think the roads that we were gonna do were the roads that they were gonna put gas lines down. But I think that we have to kind of have a plan moving forward because we can't not pave any roads for the next 9 years while natural gas is coming through. I know that there are roads that are dire. I happen to live on a very, very well paved road, not even recently, but like in the last 10 years, and it's gorgeous. So I don't complain about my road. But I know that there are other roads in town that need to be paved. So I was wondering if there was a schedule that our DPW superintendent had that he could maybe provide us with. And I'm also thinking in my head that I know that New Jersey Natural Gas, when they're paving, they only do like half the road. So they dig up the road, they put down the gas line, and then they pave it from center line to curb. Is there a way that we could work in tandem with natural gas, New Jersey Natural Gas, to pave only the other half of the road, or however that works?
JCP&L.
Not JCP&L.
I'm sorry, New Jersey Natural
I know.
Gas. New Jersey Natural Gas, when they actually finish the project, they're responsible for the roads.
But they didn't do the whole roads in Stanhope.
Well,
They only did half the roads.
again, they're not done in Stanhope yet. The project still has to finish and there's no plants open just yet to even get product yet to pave roads. And we didn't pave roads last year, not just because of New Jersey Natural Gas. We didn't pave roads last year because the vendor who actually we were getting our product from actually had all of the contracts from the state, the county, and the municipal contracts, and they couldn't keep up with the demand for product. So we made the decision when they finally had product available to us, Pat Mason made the decision that we weren't taking stuff in the month of November to pave with.
Well, that
So
would
it
be
was
nonsense.
so it was waiting until the 2025 season.
Got it.
Yeah, so I was gonna clarify with that as well. So there was an issue with the vendor, so they couldn't pave the roads last year because of the vendor, and a complaint was filed, and it was a whole thing, and they're not honoring the contracts that we entered into last year, this year. So the schedule was actually also modified because of the New Jersey natural gas. So those roads were taken out and reprioritized. And I actually just sent you guys the schedule of, there is like a diagnostic printout that grades all the roads in town and has those numbers of what are the high impact roads. So I just sent that to all of you because it was like, the spreadsheets were like, it was too many columns to print out. So I just emailed that to you so that you have it.
Okay.
But the phase from last year that was reconfigured because of natural gas is now the phase for this year that's scheduled to be done and be rebid out. And then I had mentioned in my report that we are going to be going for the DOT, the grant, not transportation alternatives, the other one, municipal aid, for more paving for next year, so that we're not going to catch up to where we should be, but at least to get us back on track to be paving more roads and get back into a regular schedule.
Okay, so we're not rolling over that money into this year's.
It is available, and it's probably going to be reallocated. And then the schedule that was set last year for the roads that were picked out to be done are going to be now, this year we have phase 1 and 2.
Yep.
So phase 1 is really what was supposed to be done last year. So that's what we're looking at for.
So you're gonna do phase 1 this year?
Phase 1 and 2.
And
1
that's in
and
the
2 is
email.
target. The email is just the diagnostic report of the roads.
Yeah.
The inventory of the roads.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I didn't print it out. It's
Yeah.
quite a lot.
Yeah, Jen, you just want to look at the grading, because what happens is a perfect road has a score of 100, and then as the years go by, that grade comes down. So basically, they look at what roads need to be paved based on the grading. So that the street scan software is very heavily involved, but just focus on that number.
Yeah, but because again, when I think of like, we should work our way backwards. Like if Northwood is gonna be the last section done with gas, start with them and move backwards so that you're passing each other and then everybody's getting, in 9 years, everybody's getting new roads.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
There's a lot
No,
of
no.
benefits to that. That's why, like, I think Shelby and Pat, obviously can have this.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely gonna factor
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
Got it.
natural gas project as it's phased out, because now we have their schedule of how it's phased out for the entirety of the project. So
Perfect.
it's definitely gonna be factored in, and all this will come up, I'm sure, in our budget talks and what money we do have available and what our target is for road paving. And
Got it, got
what
it.
grant funds we end up getting going forward.
Thank you so much.
Moving on, the proposed parking ordinance.
Yes, so this is an ordinance, it's prohibited uses, 24217, we already have in our code book. So I had requested an amendment to this ordinance, by adding in a sentence, basically, allowing New Jersey state government vehicles to be exempt. So long as the vehicle weight does not surpass 19.5. So to clarify, the ordinance, I don't have it, the ordinance currently reads, I believe it's, is it in the back? Oh, perfect. Well, no, that's just the amendment version. But, there's a difference between parking and then garaging and maintaining, and I believe the parking weight limit is 14.5. Garaging and maintaining is 19.5. That's commercial vehicles. We are I would say, blue collar town. Do you agree? We are a working class town. There are many commercial vehicles around town. However, I feel like state government vehicles, especially emergency vehicles, should be exempt if they are critical employees who have to respond to calls within a certain amount of time. And in order for a resident to go before the land use board, there's a minimum, I'm gonna call it a buy-in, an application cost of at least, I believe it's $1,200. So to have somebody pay $1,200 to go to land use to be given the rubber stamp that they can continue to do their jobs and park their car that they're required to do their jobs at their houses, I don't feel is fair for people who live in Hopeka. Look at the demographic, look at the income levels. It's not feasible to have somebody say, hey, you have to pay $1,200 to come to us and say, you can park your car on your property. I don't think that's fair. I don't agree with it, and I feel like we need to do better to allow people to go to work. And there is, while I'm very clear with this, commercial vehicles, the license plate, it'll say commercial, but if it says state government, that's the exception. So not tow truck drivers, nobody with these large obscene cars can come in and just say, I'm exempt from this because I fall under the weight class. It's what they're registered as. That's the differentiator here. I just want you guys to focus on that, because I know the recommendations from our zoning officers, stated. And let me pull it up. I apologize. Let me pull it up for you. Just to get a turn. He feels the last sentence could be interpreted as saying one could park a commercial vehicle outside as long as it does not exceed 19.5. But nowhere in there does he recognize the differentiator of being a state government vehicle. That's the only amendment. Everything else is staying the same, no change, other than state government vehicles are exempt that do not pass 19.5.
How many, my experience on the land use board, I think that, oftentimes it's favorable, obviously, to the individual that wants to plug the truck because it's convenient to them, but more often than not, it was not favorable to the neighbors, right? So do we have, an exemption for just simply a state truck? I'm not quite sure, how that fits in, but have we had a lot of requests for this?
So this all stemmed from an issue that had come up with one resident, and I've been driving around town to locate other state government vehicles. And at the last meeting, I stated there was 4. I'm now up to 7. But this all started because a complaint was made by a resident. Their neighbor had a vehicle. They work for DOT for the state of New Jersey. They are an emergency management responder. They had a letter from their employer stating they are required to respond to a call within a certain amount of time. And they were still, issued a warning saying that they could not park their vehicle there, even though they were deemed an essential employee. So this is somebody's livelihood, and I don't feel like we should be messing with that.
I understand that too, but there's lots of emergency vehicles, if you will, that aren't necessarily state vehicles. So given that, then I would think that the same thing would apply. That
No, it wouldn't apply to them.
What?
If they weren't registered as state vehicles, it
No.
wouldn't apply.
What I'm saying is that, if we're going to make that exemption for an emergency vehicle that is state licensed or state registered, I think somebody that has an emergency vehicle that is not state registered is gonna say, well, hey, I've got the same problem. I have to leave in the middle of the night as well. Right? I think there's, whether that does happen to be a tow truck or anything else for that matter. So we
Well,
may
they
be opening a Pandora's box here.
They could try, but if they're not state registered, then their ordinance wouldn't apply, and they wouldn't be allowed to do that.
I think it's narrow. I think we need do a little bit more work on that to explore that a little bit more and get a better understanding of the total effect it's going to have on the town, and make sure there's no additional consequences as a result.
I feel some people abuse it in our town, that people that park their vehicles, that is their business, they run their business out of their house, which is, that's a whole nother issue. But if you had one vehicle, is fine, but I know a couple, at least 5 locations where there's more than one vehicle. They have more than one person working for them, or they have more than one vehicle they use at different times of the year. And in some cases, they park them not only in their driveway, in front of their house and on their front lawn. And I don't want to lead, if we already, it's already a bad look, and then to add to it. I don't mind seeing a plumber, he has one truck in his driveway, it's his business, I'm fine. But if he has 4 guys and he parks all 4 trucks in his driveway and on his front lawn, I have a problem with that. Because that's part of your business expenses, to put your cars, if you're a landscaper, or a plumber, or electrician, and you have multiple vehicles, then you have to go to the expense, if you can't do it in a residential area, to have it where you can pay or you can buy property where you can store them. It's just not a good look on.
Oh, no, that's different. That's different. That's.
No, I get what you're saying, but
Right.
I kind of think that this is a splitting of hairs. I wonder why was there a complaint? Just because the vehicle was there? Is this just a neighborly fight? I don't want to change an ordinance that our professionals went into hard work for if we don't know all the scenarios here. To just keep changing ordinances, updating them for one person, it becomes oppressive after a while. So I want to think about this, or I think we should talk more about it and find out a little more. What is the problem? Is it a loud vehicle? Does it have a siren that goes off at 3 a.m? What was the complaint that is causing the situation to happen? And is there another solution where there's some other space that he could, park it that wouldn't be offensive? Not that the complainer is all right either, but I think you have to take into account more than one person when you're writing an ordinance for an entire town. Especially with the tiny roads we have, and the tiny, if any, driveways we have in many areas.
Joe, you got something?
Yeah, just in your case studies, were they all in a driveway or were some on the street and then on the
Well,
lawn?
that's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's on the street or in somebody's personal driveway. There's no, all commercial vehicles, no commercial vehicles are permitted in residential areas.
Right, but I'm saying the ones that you've seen, are they in driveways? Okay,
But they would still be considered violations.
agreed, but yeah, I think to Christine's point, I think the street and the lawn is what probably would really irk a neighbor, right? But
That's kind of where I'm going with it, because
100%.
I have one by me.
But a driveway.
I have a fire truck by me and,
This is not a fire truck, I assure you. You've seen a photo of this
Yeah.
truck, but it's people, but it's like a driveway. So you see what I'm saying? Like, and it's one vehicle.
okay.
But so overall, my issue is no resident, regardless of any issue, no resident should have to go before a land use board and pay the amount of money to pay just to be given the green stamp, like, hey, you can now park this car in your driveway. That's a big ask. $1,200. People should have $1,200.
Yeah, but even if they do, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, right? So there's that issue too, right? The land use board might have an objection.
Yeah, then they're SOL, then they're out $1,200. So it's just like, I don't see it. I don't like the process. All right. You have a comment?
I think if the state owned, you can't mix the commercial and state owned vehicle at the same batch. And if there's a essential employee that's required to respond at any given time, that's like a different. Plumber is a commercially owned vehicle. You can't, a guy that works for DOT or State Department, you can't say it's the same thing as a commercial. So.
I get what you're saying. I just don't think it's concise. I think we're being too general for one person at this.
It's not, it's in there, it has to be state government vehicle. That's what the amendment is, that's all it says. It's only for state government. So.
But he has not been paid.
No, he's got.
And you just don't know more for like.
I can't think. I'm covered in that. So that's it. But I don't know if you guys can hear Steve, but he made a comment.
No, we couldn't hear him. He was like whispering.
Oh.
Whispering.
He agrees with Rachel. He agrees with Rachel.
Oh, okay. No,
No way.
I did hear that. I did hear that.
Yeah.
I said you can't say commercial vehicle that's privately owned versus state-owned vehicle is the same argument.
I heard you. All right, we have public comment.
Any more discussion?
I don't know if the board wants to make a recommendation
crap.
to
Oh,
send
sorry.
this.
What?
No, I don't know if the board wants to make a recommendation to send this to land use for review, or if you want to just, bring it up in another meeting, continue to workshop it here.
You should really be passing you should really give some consensus, probably by motion, as to whether you want it to be listed on the next agenda for introduction. It automatically gets referred to the land use board for comment between introduction and final reading.
This way, if they disapprove of the ordinance, we can take their feedback and then get rid of it before we do the final reading.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, so then I will make that motion.
so then, do we have to motion?
Yep.
Then-
I'll second it.
And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Mr. Kusivic.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Okay, and then I think the last thing is, last meeting, there was a big discussion about, ordinances and the processing or the not process and procedure, but the way that that gets done. And we discussed, being in agreement with, hold on. Discussion in agreement for orderly processing for ordinance to be sent to the council president for addition to the agenda under new business for public discussion. That would then go to the mayor to be put on the agenda under new business. Is that,
Or whatever the topic is.
yes, or whatever the topic is. So can I make that motion?
You can make a motion to confirm that that's the board's understanding as to the process as to how you're gonna handle it for,
Going
you know,
forward.
going forward.
Okay, so I'll make that motion.
I second it.
Roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Mr. Kusivic.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Actually, in one question, are we doing the labor attorney vote? Because we still have that outstanding.
That is outstanding because it was not added to the agenda. So
No, I
we'll-
saw that, but I thought the last meeting we said that they'd both be on this one.
yes, we thought that they would be there, not on this one. We'll be on the next one.
Okay.
Okay, motion for public comment?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is open to the public for anything and everything that's on the agenda and off the agenda.
I just have a question about the parking that you were talking about. I mean, I'm all over the place in the Pacon and I see commercial vehicles in everybody's driveways.
Yep.
My son lives on a cul-de-sac, so he's not bothering anybody, but when he parks it up there, the guy that works in the municipal building comes up and tells him he can't park it there. But yet I can go around town and tell you at least 30. I could write them down and bring them in and show you. How come they get away with it, but he goes after my son that lives on a dead end road?
Mayor,
That's what I don't understand about it.
do you want to explain?
Sometimes,
Michelle, yeah, I just asked Shelby to give an explanation.
go ahead.
Chances are someone's tipping him off about it. Because we don't have the manpower resources to just drive around town. So a lot of times when a violation or a warning is given, it's because it's being called in or being tipped off.
By a neighbor.
Yes.
Well,
Sorry.
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 No, I understand.
Yeah.
There's only two neighbors on the
called
street.
in,
Yeah.
like it's brought
And
to the
he's
road.
friends with them, and I
Goes
actually,
by.
you know, me, I got a big mouth. I went to them and asked them right out, are you the one that called?
Yeah.
And they keep saying no, that the guy that lives in town goes around. And I'm like, why is he just?
I mean, I don't know any of who you're talking about, but I'm
Well, I
9
wanna-
times out of 10,
I don't
it's a
wanna
neighbor
start bringing
calling.
up names, I just wanted to know why, because
Yeah.
I used to live on Northwestern and the guy across the street has a landscaping business and he said 6 o'clock in the morning, they were going out.
Yeah.
And I came down to the town and said something and he's like, well, you can't do anything. He's authorized. There was 5 cars in, 5, truck and a chipper and whatever else he had. So I'm like, but yet my son was on a dead end road and gets in trouble.
Yeah, I mean,
And he
I
has to
would,
end up paying somebody to park somewhere when he has the space in his own yard.
yeah, I mean, I would love if we had the resources to be able to just evenly apply the same rules and everything to everyone and just go and monitor every street for every violation and, but just to be frank, 9 times out of 10, it's someone's being tipped
Complaining.
off about it, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And because they're friends, they might not wanna say.
Is this thing on? Okay.
Yes.
Very good. All right. This is a quick continuation of the discussion of JCP&L. I want to say ash borers.
Mm.
We lost a lot of trees in ash with the ash borers. I have a big, between me and Lynn, and and we are having discussions with JCP&L as to just exactly who's responsible for actually cutting it, because that's, I mean, you talk about, you know, $1,200. I mean, that's like cutting down a tree is not cheap. It's like $1,000, something like that's like about $1,000, $2,000. Ooh, baby. So anyway, but that's the whole thing. Now, in support of JCP&L, they have been very good about coming out, chopping down branches that would have taken out my wires and stuff like that. So I have had them out there many times, and it has been very good. They do come through every once in a while. They were, when the tree came down across River Styx, as we all know. I mean, I looked out the window at 3 o'clock in the morning, and my goodness, I could actually see the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. But anyway, I normally can't. But anyhow, so therefore, with the branches cleared and all that, it's like, you know, who's responsible? And the thing is that the tree that came down across rivers, that was not an ash tree. That was a different type of tree and was not affected by the ash borers. And also, if you drive past Lynn St. Angela, Nielsen Pins, you'll see that there's this one tree that it looked like somebody just split the thing, and it's like this big, huge, you know, splinter sticking up into the sky. She said that came down during one of the windstorms. So it's like, you know, anyway, and that also crashed and did some damage. I do know that the county also comes around and does a lot of trimming and all that sort of thing. They really ripped the crap out of my, excuse me, language. They really ripped my hedges apart a couple of years ago, and they knocked over a couple of our beloved light posts.
They did.
Or at least I know they knocked over one, because I saw them, you know, pretty much do that. So anyway, so there's the county. And also, we do have other tree services in this town. I mean, not to advertise any, but like one I know is Joe Tree, and then there's some other ones that I get pamphlets in the mail. We have tree service, like statewide tree service or something like, anyway. But there's a whole bunch of tree services and stuff like that. So I just want to say, like, you know, it's like, hey, you know, we can get this, or discussion with JCP&L as far as tree trimming. So anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else?
John Ferguson. I'm wondering, on the topic of JCP&L, it's not just them, because it involves, as I found out, spending 4 hours on the phone with the Board of Public Utilities. There's a snap-off utility pole between Flora and Charles Street on the main county road, and it's been there for almost a year now. It has live power lines and a transformer still attached to it, and it's leaning against the other pole. It's not really strapped, it's just leaning there because the wires are still holding it up. When I asked them to complain to JCP, I said, well, you have to find out who was the last person to take their wires off the old pole. I said, what are you talking about? Apparently, they can't. It's the last person to take their stuff off the pole is responsible for removing the pole. But that doesn't explain why it's been there for a year and none of the utility companies have done anything. That's the cable company, Verizon, and JCP in terms of getting, that's a dangerous situation. That a pole leaning there, the live wire still on it. So, you know, that's just one mystery of how utilities doesn't really do anything because they have no power currently to do anything in the state.
We can add that to our list.
What was the streets again? It was Flora and
Charles.
Charles Avenue, but between Flora and Charles. Drive anyway.
They have it already.
Seen that they're leaning.
Very good.
Secondary topic about the gas company, they've been doing, the lines, the main line on Hunger for the last number of months, and I, being retired, I have fun chatting with the supervisor there, and he has mentioned, because they've been involved in other towns, because they were granted this large area in New Jersey, suddenly, so they didn't have it. He said other towns have partnered with the contractor they chose to do the repaving to accomplish full street repaving instead of partial in places where that was gonna happen. That's just a thought I'd throw out to you, that maybe there could be some savings for the town if they made a point to contact New Jersey Natural Gas and partner in terms of paper, so you can get more done at the same time. That's it.
Very good. Thank you. Anyone else?
I want to bring up another problem about the senior center. We were talking about earlier that we're having a lot of problems there. I had brought it up once before. This was last year. I had come in front of you about the exercise group. I love the exercise group. I don't want to stop the exercise group, but they're interfering when they change the time to 9 to 10 instead of 10 to 11. It was working out great. The only problem that it got changed back because Marty was having trouble getting people there. Now that it's back to where they're getting out at 11, we had a big argument with one of the people that came in there for breakfast with the girl that does the exercise, that they were making too much noise. And we have people that come in there in the morning. This is their breakfast. They don't have breakfast if they don't come there. Okay, we're losing people because of this exercise group. They're taking over the whole room. Okay, then they don't get out of there till like 20 after 11, so that the people that come in at lunch have to park up in the back. And as you can see, here's my friend, she can barely walk. Okay, so I have to drive her to the door and I have to park up there. I'm walking with a cane too. They're walking out with just 2 feet. So the thing of it is, it's like something's got to be done about her group, because they got in this big, huge argument, and the person that was running it says, well, you know, I'm senior of the year. And everybody's like, so what does that mean? And she says, well, I only have to answer to him. Well, we all do. But the problem is she's preaching at this class too, which is against the bylaws or whatever it is of our group. And no one's doing anything about it, you know? And I heard recently that she wants to take over doing bingo now, which is what I do. And I do it voluntary. I love it. I love doing it, but she wants to do it and get paid for it. And she's still doing the class. She has no license, no insurance. And she lied in front of you guys and says that she does not charge a fee. We actually have the paper from the Seniors Inc. that says she does. She charges $2. And then she lied and said that she uses the money to buy all our Danish and everything. She doesn't. That comes in from James. And he brings it from BJ. He donates
donations from
for the town, for our people that come in for breakfast. So I just want to see if something can be done about how she's taking over and the people that are coming there for lunch. I mean, we had so many people in there Thursday, right? Because her groups, a lot of her groups stayed. I don't even know if they're part of our lunch bunch. I'm not getting into that because I already went in front of her and no one was speaking to me for a long time because they thought I was trying to get the exercise group out. I'm not. I used to be part of it, okay? But I walk myself now. I walk every day, so I don't go as far. I don't want them to stop. I'm just afraid someone's gonna get hurt. And I just think something needs to be done about it. Because it's getting worse.
Excuse me, Mary,
Yes.
she's not sticking to the agreed upon earlier time, she's coming in at the old.
No, what happened was, the last time I was in talking to you guys, they had worked it out where she was going to start at 9 and get out at 10. But the only problem is that Marty was having trouble getting the people there. Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Is that, shall be something that we can,
Yes.
okay, it's on the list.
Okay,
Nine.
thank you very much, because I don't want, we're losing a lot of people and
Yeah.
they're not, that's why they're not coming.
Mhm.
You have it all.
Yep.
Perfect.
We're good. Thank you. Anyone else?
I hope I didn't go over.
One quick thing, with JCP&L. I'm trying to learn a lot
I tried to.
on
close
this
it up.
subject. If I understand right, not all utility poles are JCP&L, some are Verizon,
Most
some
of
are
them are
Optimum.
Most of them are Verizon.
Okay.
They preceded the electrification of town, so they rent from the Atlantic, as do Cablevision and now, WorldNet.
Okay, so if we're asking JCP&L to be present to ask questions, shouldn't we be asking the others also? Because I think it's petty, but it's an eyesore. We replace a pole and we leave the old pole there with other services connected to it. In Brooklyn Mountain Road, they've replaced them all. I'm glad they replaced them. But can we get the other services in to switch and pull out the old poles? JCP&L trimmed the pine trees on the corner of Brooklyn Mountain and Broadway, left them on the guy's property. They've been there for 2 months. JCP&L trimmed the tree, take it off my property. Well, not my property, but gentleman's property. They come in, they make a mess, they do whatever they want. There's no accountability, so it seems. I'm not saying there isn't. But I think if we're asking JCP&L to be held accountable, shouldn't we also ask the other services that utilize those poles to be held accountable? Can we do, is that something we can do?
Do they have tree trimming schedules, the other contracts, the other?
No.
Verizon doesn't.
Trees going
No, no, no,
to the cable line
I'm not-
because there's no electric on it. The JCP&L, we had a guy come out. He looked, he goes, there's no electrical lines here, not our responsibility. And they don't come out.
Yeah, I meant in the contract or in the, I don't know what it is that we have with GCP&L for electrical services, like the tree trimming thing that they have a policy where they have to come out every 4 years and do tree trimming, like it's on a rotating basis. Does Optimum have that? Does Verizon have that?
Not that I'm aware of.
So JCP&L, so
Yeah, not
JCP&L
that
is the only one who trims trees. So Optimum is not gonna come out and trim trees, right?
They
Right.
care what happens to
No,
their-
but can we get them to switch their services to the, like, when they replace a pole?
Yeah, that's,
They're leaving the old pole with their services. Can we get it?
I have a poll I actually have to put in with the BPU it's been like that for 2 years. All the stuff, the new pole is sitting right next to it and the old pole has live wires on it. It's been like that for 2 years.
He's got a good point as far as getting those both services together, because what happened on River Styx, the delay time was all because Verizon had to give approval for them to work on the poles and remove the poles. That was hours before they got the approval.
Yeah.
So I think you should have both of them come in and maybe questions could be addressed to them.
Right, so it's like you're asking for a joint town hall.
Right,
Like,
right.
that's what they're asking for.
For us, the state can hold a solution where they can. They lose ownership of the pole if they're not maintained. That's what Verizon, which was Atlantic, owns most of those poles. They do no maintenance on the poles. You not the overgrown poles up until the electric lines.
Right.
JCP&L now only spends money on the wire, they want live wires, which is probably you don't want any stuff touching those. And it's no, like I said, that's why that pole hasn't moved into other poles in the town. They can't move the services because they don't own the new poles that JCP&L put in. JCP&L owns them. They would have to enter in a rental agreement for renting the space. And they don't want to pay that.
Bureaucracy at its
So
finest.
basically, we're stuck with double poles everywhere.
Yep.
It is sometimes.
Incentive, there's no incentive for them to work together.
Well, what happened on River Styx, that was a tree that caused that, but now I brought it to the attention of the councilwoman, across the street from my house at 406, River Styx, the gas station, the repair station there's a pole that's been leaning for the longest time with a transformer on it and everything. I'm waiting for it to go. So what did they do? They come and put a cable to it.
Yep.
To the ground. Now, when that pole went down that street, you could actually see, and the guys even tell you, his pole's weak. But he took a density of the pole, and they said, oh, no, the pole's strong. That pole's gonna go. It's gonna go soon. You're doing a streetscape on River Stakes in that area, if I'm not mistaken, from here down.
Yep.
So you better consider on that pole too. That pole's gonna come down, it was a big problem.
Hmm.
The poles have been in place, most of them since for over 70 years. The poles are under tension, the wires have a lot of tension on them, and when they were first put in, they were properly retensioned with the support cables going at odds to the angles the wires are coming in, engineers, so that's how you do it. But they've never maintained those tension points. They had one in our town before the tornado took it out, it was anchored into an oak tree. But the oak tree was, stable and good for all
Right.
those years. The problem is, as the oak tree grew out, the stanchion moved, so it was just hanging slack. It was no longer keeping tension on the pole. And you'll see that any pole you see leaning, look at where the support lines are. They're supposed to provide tension to that pole. And you'll probably see that they're slack because whatever they were attached to, or a tree or whatever, or even in the ground came loose, but they don't do any maintenance. They're reactive. They react to fallen wires or fallen things. They don't.
Okay, anyone else? Yeah. I saw Heather.
Two things. One, I'd like to thank the council for bringing the Memorial Day parade back. Two, I'd like to thank the council for also getting rid of the attorney. I'm very vocal on him. Sorry, not sorry. In terms of the JCP&L is not required to do tree trimming. I work for the utility company, not JCP&L, I work for PSE&G. I have actually worked with Jen Johnson on identifying a number of poles that have either transformers that need to be replaced, poles that are damaged, poles that are trees that have overgrown the poles. We did I think a 1 hour drive, and we identified just what we could in that 1 hour because we didn't have all day. Reported it to the BPU. That has been so far the best route that you could find to actually get the utility companies to do anything. So I would suggest for Shelby, if you're not getting anywhere with getting them into a meeting, reaching out to the BPU. There are separate representatives for the BPU, one for JSP&L, one for Verizon, one for Optimum, so on and so forth, to try and help push them, especially because there's so many issues going on. I can tell you, I work for the largest utility company in New Jersey. When the BPU is called, everything stops immediately, and we do whatever it is that focuses. And if that's what it takes, that's what you need to do. Get them involved. Jen has Verizon and JCP&L contacts that her and I have been working on for quite some time, and now she's kind of taking it over. But that is a huge resource from somebody who works for another utility company.
Thank you.
And then in terms of tree trimming, the other utility company will not cut where there's a live wire for safety reasons. And the tree trimming from the poles that connects directly to your house is a homeowner responsibility.
Thank you.
Mayor, would you mind if I?
No, good.
Speak?
Yeah.
I'm not from Paccon, I'm the Vernon Township mayor. Just want to thank, I was in the area and I figured I'd stop by and say hello to my friend. I wasn't gonna speak, but I hear a lot of the JCP&L stuff. We had the same problems up in Vernon. We have a representative that we called. Did I hear that you do have a representative? We did raise these concerns, especially with the smart meters that came around. We raised them up to our commissioners. We did have a meeting. One of the things I did not hear in this room, and one of the fire departments brought to our attention is when they drop these trees and these branches, the issue is that they leave them. The problem is, God forbid, there's a fire in the woods. Emergency services can't get through those trees. So just remember that they have to clean that stuff up too. If you guys have forests too, make sure those areas are cleaned out so you can get emergency services into those wooded areas in case you need it. So that's just my 2 cents.
Did JCP&L come up for a meeting with you, or did you have a meeting with the
So
commissioners?
they don't like to be in front of the
Don't
fire and
say it.
squad, I should say, guys. We pulled them in privately, had that kind of thing, but we did meet up in Newton. And we had a commissioners, we met with the commissioners, JCP&L representatives. A lot of that was for the smart meters. There's the smart meters, there's another fiasco.
Much more.
We're still trying to work through those. You know, the bill, a lot of people's bills have doubled, so it's, still working through those issues, but just keep in mind, when they drop those trees, you gotta make sure those areas are cleared out. Last thing you need is having your emergency service, fire trucks, and personnel can't get into those wooded areas.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
If I could mention one other thing, the tree trimming responsibility for JCP&L is to their entire live wire system. So whether a tree's on your property or it's not on your property, they are required to trim for safety purposes around their entire live wire. If a tree is required to come down and it is a safety risk for their services, they are required to take it down. So if there is something on your property or not on your property, you can report it to them to have their tree trimming. I had my prior house, they came however many years ago and trimmed around my tree for a tree that I own that was in the middle of my front lawn. They trimmed all around it because they are required to. So it's not the homeowner's responsibility to trim around live wires. JCP&L is required to keep a certain distance. I will tell you, don't expect a nice haircut on my tree. They do the bare minimum of what they have to, so if you want it to look pretty, that is not gonna happen. They're gonna do the bare minimum, but for safety purposes, it is done by them, because they don't want any contractor just going out and starting to cut trees around live wires.
Good, thank you. Anyone else? Not seeing anything, motion to bring it back
Motion.
Second.
and motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You know what?